Probably should be getting to bed soon again. Seem to keep being stuck in my latest addiction here at Steemit.com. But before I did, I just wanted to talk real quick about this. I noticed a really good post here from Zeratul, which I think is awesome because I love StarCraft, by the way. Great computer game, but anyway, a great post here talking about how Sapphire had unveiled 5 new graphic cards specifically for cryptocurrency miners. If you didn't hear about that, a little background on it. Basically, the major graphics card manufacturers, AMD and like AMD and Nvidia, and all the other ones who make the cards from like Sapphire and whatnot, they had issues where all these crypto miners bought all these really high-end, GPU video cards for mining, used them like crazy for like a year, and then after mining became much less profitable once the difficulty for mining coins went up, they just sold the cards. Problem was, cards are still under warranty, and they still had to honor these warranties, and these cards are breaking down like crazy because they were being run 24/7 there. So yeah, so they're releasing a new line of video cards, like he says in his post, for mining Ether, Dash, Zcash, Monero, things like that that are higher difficulty to mine. Specifically, what these are basically, they're high-end graphics cards there. Like, this one's 35 to 50 megahertz, and price is really reasonable too. Like, this one's like 248 pounds, which I don't know how much that is in US dollars, but and they're cheaper than regular video cards. The reason why is because there's no frills or bells in it. They're just raw processing power. They don't have any ports to output like HD video or anything like that. They're just their display capability is very basic. They're just meant for literally just for mining because that's become such a big thing. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because that got me thinking. I thought about at one point, like some people dabbling in the idea of like building a Raspberry Pi machine. Which, if you're not familiar with that, Raspberry Pis are like really basic form factor, super affordable computers that cost like nothing to build, and using that to dabble in mining. That's what a lot of people are doing now. But I've given it some thought, and I realized that I'm kind of leaning away from the proof of work. Those are the type of currencies that you have to mine. I'm slowly leaning away from that more and more, and I'm kind of leaning towards the proof of stake method. If you're not familiar with that, this is the Wikipedia page about it. I don't fully remember the technical aspects, but basically the way that works is instead of mining it, there's kind of a thing where depending on how much of a currency you have, you stake that currency, and it's kind of like being a lottery basically. You're holding so much of a currency there, and the more of it you have, the higher chance you have of winning the lottery, if you will, and getting to forge or generate some new coins for that currency. That became a thing a few years ago. I don't think any of the top performing cryptos are proof of stake yet, but it's become more and more of a thing there. And personally, I'm kind of more a fan of that. And there's a whole bunch of proof of stake cryptos now. Peercoin is a really old one that's been around. Well, not I shouldn't say old, but I think they came out like 2011 or 12. That's been around for a while. Blackcoin's another one. That's a proof of stake as well. BitShare's another one, and there's some others that I'd mentioned before in previous videos. Redcoin is one, NXT is one, PIVX is one, and ARC is another. ARC is a little bit different. It's actually like a delegated proof of stake, kind of like Steem. Those are delegated proof of stakes, but they're still more proof of stake system opposed to proof of work system. And why do I prefer this system? I mean, when you think about it, either way, it kind of works out to be the same. Whether you're mining or you're staking, as they call it, you're going to spend. It all comes down to who can spend more money to, mine faster or stake better, or whatever. I guess I like the concept of the proof of stake because that's something I can get into with my current machine. Because when you start staking currency, it takes very little computing power. You can do it on literally any machine, which is supposed to be one of the advantages. That's more energy efficient and whatnot. Um, I just like it because, again, I don't need to buy a new computer. I need to spend money on a new system, whatnot. I mean, you're still gonna end up spending money. Like I personally end up, I was really interested in PIVX, but at 150 a coin, I just felt like it was too expensive to get into. Because when you're doing this proof of stake thing, what it really comes down to is again money. When you buy, you have to buy a lot of it in order to stake a lot. You know, have a chance to win the lottery, as they describe it, in order to forge more of that cryptocurrency. So I ended up buying into a lot of ARK there. You know, and like I said, a little bit of a different system, but basically the same. The more ARK I have, the more ARK I get paid every couple of days there. And it's meant to be a way to make you invest it into the currency, so you don't just kind of dump it and run. You know, like you buy it and you keep it for just a hot minute, then you just sell it. You know, they're trying to keep you invested in it by buying a lot, holding on to it so that you get more. But and as far as the technical aspects, there's debates about it. Some people say it's not as secure as like mining. I haven't read anything legitimately proving that. You know, it seems like most of the ideas about possible weaknesses in it are theoretical. I haven't seen anything practical that's happened. And I know, like, Wikipedia here mentions even Ethereum has supposedly been talking about moving over to proof of stake this year. From I understand, there was a little bit of a holdup on that because of some issues they had to figure out with transitioning from proof of work to proof of stake, you know, like transitioning from mining it to go ahead and just being able to stake it. But it seems like that's the direction that Ethereum's going. So if a currency as big as Ethereum is looking to move to that system, there's obviously a reason why. You know, now whether or not it's better is debatable. You know, if you want to mine, you can definitely go that route. I just know for me personally, I'm leaning towards the proof of stake system there, just because I like the idea of being able to buy like a currency. Like for instance, I bought a bunch of ARK. I actually have my ARK wallet sitting right down here. I bought a bunch of ARK. I put it in my wallet, you know, and I did their delegated proof of stake system, and now every couple of days it's paying me out in a little bit of ARK there. I like that. You know, I really like being able to do that. Yeah, I had to invest some money into it, but I like that more opposed to having to try and like mine on my PC here or to building a brand new rig specifically for mining. I think it's a better system. I think it's kind of the way of the future. I don't think mining is just going to disappear or anything like that, but I definitely think that proof of stake is going to gain more and more appeal as time goes on there. So, you know, if you're looking for a way to, I think with proof of stake cryptocurrencies, they don't call it mining, they call it forging. But basically, if you're looking for a way to generate more currency, like more of a cryptocurrency, and you don't want to necessarily build a machine to mine a crypto, then a proof of stake currency would probably be for you. I know Peercoin, that's been around for a while. Like I said, that one seems pretty solid to me. I'm only downside it's like 250 a coin, so it's kind of up there. PIVX, definitely a solid one, I believe, as well there. You know, it has very reliable technology behind it. Again, just a little bit up there in price for my taste there. ARK is the one I ended up going with just because it's under $1, and like I mentioned in previous videos, I think it has huge potential. It's going to pay off with it. Um, Blackcoin and BitShares are all supposed to be pretty good proof of stake ones. I don't know as much about them though. You probably heard of BitShares because I know we talk about that one a lot in Steemit. But I need to do more research into the technical aspects of them to make sure that I think the technology behind them is sound. And there's Redcoin and XT. I'd mentioned those before too. Lots of potential with both. I don't know how confident I am in them. Redcoin, there's like a huge oversupply problem right now because there's like a crazy amount of supply for Redcoin. Yeah, as you can see, it's like 74 million or something like that coins are in circulation. So there's this huge circulation. There's not enough demand to meet it. I like the concept behind it. You know, that's why the price is so low now, but I don't know if it'll catch up or not. NXT, that's really cheap too. I actually got their homepage open up here. That's another proof of stake one. It's like I had mentioned before. I like the concept behind it. Whether or not it'll pan out, only time remains to, only time will tell there. I probably, if I'd say my favorites currently, PIVX and ARC are probably my two favorite proof of stake cryptos right now. But yeah, that's just my suggestion. If you're wanting to look at mining or forging cryptocurrency, as they say, I would highly suggest taking a look at the proof of stake ones versus the mining ones. And just see if that's something that might be a better fit for you. Maybe you're less tech savvy. Maybe you just don't feel like going through trouble building something. Just keep in mind that this is still, it's still a investment, because realistically, when you're staking, like I said, it's like a lottery. You wait to win the lottery. The more you have to stake, the more likely you are to win, and the more that you're staking with, the bigger the payout is that you win there, or you forge, as they would say. If you have a very small amount of currency, you're not going to get a very big payout. So, kind of sucks, but that's just the way it is there. But, it's their way of making you invested into their platform. But yeah, I think it's a better system personally. So if you have any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, anything like that, I would definitely like to hear them. And I look forward to hearing from you guys more in the next video there.